Back too.
It's good to be back. And these Dockers, I think, will give a bit of cheek this afternoon. They are very fit. I will say that about them. Probably as advanced as any team in the competition at the present time. Jared Neesham wants some early wins, and I think he set himself for that. So as a result, they'll take a bit of stacking, but they're working up into the breeze, although they did that against Essendon in a practice match and started very, very well.
Stewart Loewe and O'Reilly to do battle down in the Saints forward line with no Tony Lockett. And incidentally, the StKilda player's wearing a black armband. Sadly, Stan Alves' father passed away during the week, and our commiserations to family and friends. Here we go, a history-making moment as the 16th club in the competition gets underway. The Dockers from the centre bounce. It's Scotty Waters who rips it out of the middle for the Dockers. Up inside 50, towards centre half forward. No mark taken, ball comes to ground, and the umpire will come in and have a bounce at centre half forward for the Dockers in attack and going into this very, very stiff breeze. Crowd-wise, perhaps a little disappointing.
I'd say very.
Very disappointing.
I'm glad you said that.
On half forward, still a fairly warm day here in Fremantle. No one able to get it out. Could have almost been a push in the back.
Gee, I thought so, Sandy. Yeah, the player with the footy on the bottom of the pack there, just making all the effort, not getting rewarded. That was Bell.
Bounce inside the 50. Burrows is number 33. Vidovic comes over the top. Anderson boots it back towards midfield. Burton lumbers up. Finished up at their feet. Thornborough picks it up. He's in trouble. Slung. Jarred loose. Burton slaps it out wide. Delaney, nicely done. Still Delaney running towards half forward, looking for Nettlebeck. Nettlebeck had it knocked away. The man in front was Pekin. Loose ball now. Nettlebeck an opportunity. 30 metres from goal. He's playing on the forward line. Obviously, he pulls it back and starts well. It's a goal.
Terrific opener. And Delaney, Tony Delaney, who has a licence, particularly in an earlier game we saw against Essendon 2 weeks ago, he ran the ball consistently down the field and took on most players running at him. This time, rather than bouncing, he elected to kick to position, which was ideal. And here, Nettlebeck just breaking 2 tackles, the last one from Shanahan, and a great shot on goal. Well done.
First blood to the Dockers through Craig Nettlebeck, former Sydney Swan, as we go back to the middle. Spider Burton to contest the centre bounce with Vidovic. Vidovic underneath it. Gets a fist to it and then has a second attempt. Burt comes over the top, fisting it down towards the half-forward line. No one able to take it cleanly. Eventually spilled out, still towards the middle. Waters comes in over the top, holds the ball up, and another bounce to take place.
Yeah, it's been interesting to see, too, in this game, how the strength of the Dockers does hold up. The improvement, that's what they've tried to fast-track.
Well, there was a bit of a feeling as Keogh tried to storm his way through, lost the football, slapped away from Ben Allen, pushed down towards the half-forward line. Chasing there is Dale Kickett, close to it, leaves it for his teammate and Peter Mann. Slung, back to Kickett. Kickett's on half-back, but he's in trouble. He gets caught and he loses the football. A chance now for StKilda for the quick reply. Good-looking kick in towards goal, and he's put it through. First goal to the Sainters, and the quick reply coming from Kristen Bardsley. Scores all tied up with a couple of minutes gone.
And a terrific tackle too. Watch this tackle when Kickett gets the ball. That first tackle was from O'Brien, and there it is. That's the big fella Thornborough. Great effort there to drag Kickett down. And then Bardsley, who's had a little life at other clubs, was previously called Christian Anning, and played 5 games at North Melbourne.
It's a goal apiece. Back in the middle. Burton goes up high, falls at his feet. Keogh in a lot of trouble. Muir tried to crash his way through. Vidovic going nowhere. This is Jones in trouble. Lost it. Burton picked it up into the path of Allen. No support. Winmar pushed in the back. No free kick. Waters has got it. Winmar's got him. That's interesting. Holding the ball, says the umpire. Nicky Winmar back in Fremantle. Unloads, shocking kick. Nugent had it knocked away by Delaney. Loose ball. This is Shaw. Shaw handling too. Gets it across to Keogh. This is Hollow. Nicely done. Back to Shaw. Shaw kicks inside the 50. In from the side, Edwards. Kick it in front. In trouble on his knees. Gets it to O'Reilly. O'Reilly boots it out wide. Out of bounds on the full.
Yes, you may have had the option there to handball to Scott Edwards, number 1, who was the player that backed into the pack there trying to take the mark. And he's done that a few times in previous practice matches.
Damon Shaw will look towards Stewart Loewe.
free kick.
Well, cop one high, and he's going to take a free kick inside 50. And just settle down here. Dump was Craig O'Brien. Welcome to the season, boys. Plus 50 metres, and you can put down a goal for Stewart Loewe.
Yes, he won't need to mark this out, as he normally does. Well, he won't need that breeze coming from over his shoulder, from right to left.
Puts it through.
Qantas now gives you even more ways to earn and enjoy your frequent flyer points right across the world. With American Airlines, Canadian Airlines, US Air, Scandinavian Airlines and British Airways, making Australia's leading frequent flyer program more rewarding than ever.
Saints lead it by 6 points. The early going at East Fremantle Oval in front of a crowd of about, I suppose, 9,000, 10,000. It's building up all the time. Vidovic favoured by the bounce. Gets a fist on this one towards half forward. Kickett's got it. In trouble. Oh, coming away as Crummell. Clever hand pass, but a holding the man decision. It's coming to back to Shaw.
Yes, it was against Kickett, who just threw Shaw down after the ball had been disposed of.
There's Anderson going nowhere. Vidovic has it. Standing start. Floats it down towards half forward. Norris pisting away from Burke. In front Bardsley. Taken high. He'll get the free about 70 metres from goal.
There's another 50.
And another 50. Well, that's silly.
Yes, and Dale Kickett, I know it's one of his former teams, the Dockers being his 5th, but he's just got to relax a bit, forget about this sort of business. It's unnecessary and it penalises the side.
Well, 10 metres for every team.
He certainly hasn't lost his strength with that haircut.
So Mann takes the mark. Crickett's given up. Bardsley a chance from point-blank range. 15 metres out. Gets the goal. That's his second. And StKilda stretch their lead.
Yes, untidy. There's too many free kicks at the moment. Whether the Dockers are intent on showing they have some strength. Their concentration was more at the football as the Dockers runner is out to kick it, just to let him know, obviously, that was unnecessary, particularly in that forward area. And a too easy a goal there to Bardsley.
So 2 to Bardsley, 1 to Stewart Loewe. May have just joined us. The Saints winning the toss and kicking with the Fremantle Doctor. And after 3 straight, enjoying it. Burton, one of the biggest men in the league, up against Vidovic. Gets a decent old run, but perhaps a little too early. The Dockers through David Muir go wide towards the left half forward flank area. Wills is first to it. The former Cat in trouble. Goes over the top. The hand pass across to Brendan Crummell. He's had injury problems in the recent year or so. Let's hope he's on the mend. Peter Bell goes up towards full forward. Look for big things from him. And a good strong mark taken there by Shanahan. Shanahan's away. Back towards the half-back flank once more. And he finds Damon Shaw. Shaw playing in front. Has a bit of time. Swings play into the middle. Good spoil on that occasion by Peter Mann, but it comes straight to Lazar Vidovic, and he gets onto one. Straight down towards Stewart Loewe. Fisted away by O'Reilly. Loewe will get another chance. He had O'Brien going past. Couldn't quite get there in time. And the Dockers should get out of trouble through Burton and Waters.
Here's Waters on the outer side. 2-on-1. Nice decoy initially, then releases Jones, who goes over the top. This is Kickett on the outer side. Kickett in space, has a bounce. Confronts a man, gets by him, still he goes, well played. Muir, about 80 metres from goal. Kicking into a howling breeze. This ball drops straight down, but a great mark is taken by Nettlebeck, who got the first goal of the game. The Dockers' only goal, 45 metres out, pops it towards the square. Bell couldn't hang on. Wakelin went down, loose ball in the goal square. Broom the fumble. Beacon comes away, kicks it out wide. Nugent drops the mark. Now he's got a problem. Getting back first, Delaney. 60 metres out, Delaney on the left foot. It floats down inside the 50. Wakelin comes up and takes the defensive mark. Good start to this game in trying conditions. Kick comes along the members' wing, off hands. Winmar gathered brilliantly, gets by Muir. Little chip across the ground, hasn't got the carry, not quite. Waters got fingertips to it. Waters through the centre, goes looking for Allen. Bardsley bearing down on him. Bardsley with superior speed comes away across the body. The breeze pushes it a long way right, out of bounds on the full.
Scotty Waters will bring it back into play. Dockers vice captain on the outer side of the ground. 3 goals straight to the Saints and 1 to the Dockers. They kicked the opening goal into this very stiff breeze up towards the half-forward line. And a bit of holding on there, going the way of the Dockers. A few ironical cheers as Burton takes it on half-forward. Big fella kicks them inside 50 once again. No mark taken. Offhands it comes. Is it Nettlebeck again having another pop shot at goal? But I think he's got it.
At Merrington's, one-stop eye care is just so easy. Merrington's. Easy.
So the margin 6 points. That's the time remaining. Fast start to this game. Scoring at both ends. That's encouraging. Burton goes up, bumps it down. Allen missed it. Keogh tackle, gets the kick off. Bounces down towards centre half forward. Coming up to mid it is Burke. Untidy hand pass. Here's Harvey, best and fairest last season. In fact, 2 of the last 3 seasons inside the 50. Beautiful disposal. And Lowe comes on the lead.
I'm not sure, Dennis, whether Ben Allen didn't hurt himself too in that fresh air shot. Sometimes that can happen. You can either jar a knee or just flick an ankle. He was hobbling a bit.
I think he comes in with a calf injury, doesn't he?
Got a kick in the calf against Essendon, yes. Stewart Loewe there just marking his run through. So he gives himself a direct line at goal.
Saints lead by 6 points. Lowe's got 1 goal. As yet, no behinds in this game. I thought for a moment that last kick from Nettlebeck was touched, but I think the umpire simply fumbled his whistle, Sam. He was doing something unusual.
It's early for them as well.
There's Lowe, bends it back. Oh, Stewie's on target. His 2nd goal, and the Saints lead by 12 points.
Well, good skills from both sides here, with this breeze being very strong. It's one thing we mentioned in the lead-up the players don't like is a strong breeze. It really does play havoc with the flight of the ball and makes it more difficult for creative disposal. But Robert Harvey, of course, one of the better disposers of the footy, finds Stewart Loewe in front of O'Reilly. And that's the way they're wanting Loewe to play in this season, perhaps full-time at full forward.
Burton again in the middle with Vidovic. Taken away by Waters, but he gets caught. Not before he releases the football, but taken by Winmar. Gets a quick hand pass away. The Saints go forward. Hollow's kick is long, up towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Could have been a push in the back there against Peter Mann. Umpire calls play on, however. Now he whistles it up and we'll have a bounce on the 50-metre line. St Kilda in attack. Burton with the height. He's looking for Scotty Waters, the vice-captain. Gets taken high. It's going to the advantage is going to be paid for the Dockers as David Muir comes away. Kicks up towards centre wing. They've got possession in that position. The mark taken by Gary Durkay. Durkay, one of the exciting youngsters for the Dockers. Kicks towards half forward. There once again was David Muir. Couldn't sneak away. And another bounce.
About 55 metres out. Groom was battling, but the ball fell wide of him. Another whistle and the ball up. The Saints eliminated in Game 2 of the Foster's Cup, as it was last season. Richmond beat them, and they went to extra time. If that's the case today, it could be very gloomy at the finish of this one. Muir knocks it down. Keogh in trouble. Dragged to the ground by Muir. And once more, the umpire will do the honours.
Yes, it certainly would pay, I should say, the Dockers to try and bottle St Kilda up at the moment. Just play man on man and try and stop this bit of a run they've got. Not allow them to get too far ahead with this breeze.
Broom gets it down. Keogh amongst it early. Kicks down towards half forward. Jones goes back. Couldn't hang on. This is Norrish. Edwards up towards half back. Edwards, the short one. Burton's got the mark, plays on, and breaks away the big man. Still he goes, needs to release it, gets it across. Delaney on the wing, kicks down towards half forward. It floats on the breeze. Waters overhead, well done. Waters inside the 50. Nettlebeck, loose ball behind Wills, Sockers off the ground. Paddled towards the boundary by Hollow. Nettlebeck again, back into the fray to Burrows. Bell from 35 metres out slides it across the face. It pitches just inside the field of play. Keogh gets back, deep in his own defensive area. That's a good kick.
Yeah, it had to be spot on, didn't it?
Yes, Peakin's got it. Opposite pocket. Anderson, dual Hawthorn Premiership player, boots it around the outer side down towards half forward.
It's a good kick from Anderson, but only as far as Norrish. Again, he goes towards the half-back flank region. Winmar scouting close to the boundary line. In trouble. Gets it away, but the man he wanted, Shaw, was under close attention. Good tackle by Kickett.
Harvey here. Good pressure. That's a better tackle from Dale Kickett.
Yep. Showing discipline on that occasion. He just goes short up towards the half-back line. And it's taken by Brendan Crummell. Former Eagle. Pretty versatile player. Kicks towards the wing. Big pack of players. Waters again doing the scouting, but couldn't go away with the football. But the whistle has sounded. It's going to come back, trying to sneak away with Rodney Keogh. But Burton is going to take the free kick. He kicks towards centre wing. Standing his ground in front was Wayne Thornborough. On the outer wing, Thornborough kicks the Saints in towards half forward. No one able to take it cleanly. Norrish at the back's got a chance to clear. He does so to Allen. Back inside, all caught Peter Mann napping. They may get out of it yet, but they may pay. Keogh almost threw it out the back door. They've got a chance through Peakin. Hurriedly onto the left foot because he saw Nathan Burke loose. Burke is just outside 50. Let's go with a drop putt in towards goal. He's got the distance, but then he's got the accuracy.
From the day they moved in, he wanted to share everything, especially his beautiful wife.
For just one night.
An offer too exciting to refuse. Now, framed with her murder.
He had an obsessive fixation on his wife.
You have to help me understand this.
I didn't kill her.
Only he can see the real murderer's deadly charm.
I got my wife and child.
Kevin Kline and Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio on a roller coaster ride of suspense.
I'm not going to leave you.
For the first time, consenting adults, 8:30 Sunday on 7.
How about this? Breezy day, 7 straight goals. The Saints lead by 18 points. The Breeze worth about 3 to 4 goals. But StKilda looking good at the present time. Vidovic, uncontested, goes up and thumps it towards half forward. Shaw missed it. Harvey was over the ball. Coming through strongly, Smith. Knocked it out wide. Here's an opportunity for Winmar. Held without it, surely. He'll get the free kick. Hand pass to his own advantage. Nicky Winmar.
Definitely here. We've got Keogh, some sort of a shepherd, but then Peter Mann just far too late there with the tackle.
So Winmar likes his chances. Will take a very good kick from here. The Breeze will push it slightly left to right. Sets it up on the Breeze. That's a magnificent kick. It's a goal. Winmar gets his first. What a beauty.
In fact, off the boot, it almost looked as if it had come off the side to the right, but in fact, the way the Breeze was going, it appeared to favour that kick. Looked untidy, but terribly effective. You're not going to complain about that. Well done, Nicky Winmar. It's the sort of quality they want from that play. He's been playing on Brendan Crummell for most part of this quarter.
6 straight for the Saints in an amazing start. 2 to Bardsley, 2 to Loewe, 1 to Winmar, 1 to Burke. They lead by 24 points. So we go back to the middle once again with Burton and Vidovic, neither getting a decisive tap, but it's going to go to the Dockers big man, a free kick for an infringement. And away he goes. Burton kicks in towards half forward. Again, it stops in the Breeze. Peakin comes over the top, and a bit of a push and shove going on there.
It's Shanahan.
Going to go to
No, it's not.
it won't be Jamie Shanahan.
It's Chris
It'll be
Hollow.
Chris Hollow. Yep. He was in that pack, and Hollow to take it from half back. Kicks over the centre. Nathan Burke at the back. Gets it across to Robert Harvey. Can he find himself a passage and get clear? No, he can't. Wills couldn't take advantage of the situation. Winmar, look out. Interesting. Very interesting. Still going. Put his teammate under plenty of pressure. That was Wayne Thornborough, and they're going to lose it. Away came Crummell. Now he's lost it to Harvey. He may pay towards Loewe. Couldn't pick it up on the half volley. Doesn't matter because Bardsley's there. He's kicked 2, and I think he's kicked his 3rd.
A bit of pressure there too from both sides, but it just found the Dockers out a little bit with players running at them. They were handballing almost unsighted, and that little bit of extra close attention from StKilda at the moment. It's just bringing them undone in their running game. The Dockers trying to move that with handball away from half back. It doesn't take much of a mistake. The ball goes the other way, and Bardsley, who's been hot in front of goals, that's his 3rd. Relishing the early tempo.
So Bardsley, 15 games last season for the Saints after playing 5 at North Melbourne. Flying start to his season. Vidovic and Burton once more. This time Burton gets it down. There's that man again. Bardsley floats it towards centre half forward. Thornborough works his way against man to the front position. It spills wide though. Jones tries to knock it down to the advantage of Kickett. Kickett's over the ball. It comes back to Mann in trouble. Hand passes wide, taken by Jones. Still he goes. In the grasp, got it away. Kickett's hand pass a little untidy. Waters to Norris, that's better. Allen back to Norris, up through the middle. So the Dockers with a chance now. Norris running at the defence, kicks inside the 50. Nettlebeck comes. Shanahan fists away, taken by Nugent. Concedes some ground. Wakeland, about 30 metres from his defensive goal. Kicks it very high towards the wing. Keogh will need to go. Wills comes over the top. Grant's got it. Going nowhere. Comes to Allen. Quick hands. Play on's the call. Delaney with the advantage. He would debate that, I think. 2 Saints bearing down on him. He's got speed. He comes away. Kicks to half forward. In front Groom. Got fingertips to it. In goes Anderson. Couldn't control it. Loose ball in there. Slapped out by Muir. Groom again. Did he have it? Was he pushed in the back down there? Anderson. No free kick. And we'll have a bounce.
Under 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter of this Ansett Australia Cup. Ansett Australia, good to have them on board in the pre-season competition. There you can see the weather here in southern Western Australia at the moment. Wild and windy with Cyclone Bobby, I think it is, somewhere up north. Is it Bobby?
I don't know. I haven't been introduced.
Bobby around anyway.
Nathan Burke. Bardsley gets underneath the drop punt. I think it is Bobby. To half forward. The bouncing ball eludes them all. O'Brien was held. And he'll take the free kick just inside 50.
I'm not sure what Scott Edwards was thinking there, but gee, one out like that in full view of that 3rd umpire just sitting with inside that 50-metre area. Obvious free kick, just retarding O'Brien. It's his 3rd year at the Saints, having played 22 games at Essendon. Pretty good season last year too. Kicked 53 goals.
Well, he could be dragged.
I think so.
First blemish of the day. 7-1. Plays 2 straight. There's O'Reilly. Chips it back into play. And the mark taken by Anthony Jones. Still tucked in the back pocket. They'll have the breeze in the second quarter. Jones' kick is not a good one. Plenty of Sainters there to take advantage of it. Chris Hollow around his body. It could almost be 50. Bardsley's having a field day. An absolute field day. He's kicked 3. And this is going to bring him within probably 4 or 5 metres.
We saw last week in a practice match between the Crows and the Eagles that some of the Crows players played 6 quarters having played an early game. The way Bardsley's going, he might want to play 7 or 8. He's hot.
Well, he's been brought right into the square, and it'll be a formality for him to boot his 4th. The Saints 8 for the quarter. He's done exactly that.
The search for Arden, the executive who went missing with his telecom, mobile net digital phone, takes to the air. Are you there, Peter?
I'm here, Renee. There's been a report that Arden and his digital mobile could be in Broome, so we're headed that way.
He could be that far away?
Or further, Telecom MobileNet have more digital base stations than either of the two competing networks.
A bit like searching for a needle in a haystack?
More like searching for a tiny mobile in a vast network, Renee.
To be continued.
So the Saints looking terrific. Great start by them. 8-1 to 2 goals. Burton and Vidovic. Vidovic has generally done best. This time Burton clean possession. Gets it down into the path of Waters. And he's away. Kicks towards half forward. There's a fight on down the ground. Two players oblivious to the ball. Meantime on the 50, Anderson's got it. Gets the hand pass away. Keogh had it knocked away. This is Bell in trouble. Back to Waters. Waters almost run down. Gets it to Muir. Muir down towards left half forward, a long way from goal. Nettelbeck, too much carry on the kick. He was the man in front. Shanahan gets back, runs it across the line, and tries to show to the umpire that his turning circle isn't what it used to be.
Groom and Waite just introducing themselves down there, not worrying about the footy for a moment or two.
Ah, well.
Former South Australians.
Won't see that too often, I don't think, this season. The Dockers odds on. Burke out of the congestion. It wanders around the outer side. Crummell knocks it away from Winmar. Mann hit it hard. Crummell feeds it back inside. Taken by Jones. Shows a bit of dash. Comes down towards left half forward. Not a good kick. Loose ball on the forward line. Bell keeps it in front. Still it's Bell on the left foot, close to the boundary line. It bounces through for a behind.
It's a clever effort. Yes, as Dennis said, I just wonder whether it just is necessary for any of that behind-the-scenes stuff. Gains you nothing whatsoever.
8-1 plays 2-1.
In fact, in their case, they would argue Roscoe was ahead of the scene.
Correct.
Pekin. Burton comes over the top with an effective spoil, pushing it straight down to Waters, off to Delaney. Still outside 50. Short little chip to his captain, who's on the 50-metre line. There was a question mark over Allen with a strained calf, but he's come through okay. From 55, he stabs it into the forward line. Good, strong mark, however, taken by Vidovic. They're out of trouble once again. For the moment anyway, Chris Hollow may rue that decision as Wills goes charging towards goal and has missed.
Yes, well, in previous weeks he's made those very easily. A meal of that at the moment.
Under 3 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Here at East Fremantle. And again, a very high kick back in towards Vidovic and Burton. A little too high. And Burton is going to take it. The former Eagle, hoping to make a name for himself with the new West Australian club. Certainly won't with a kick like that. Although, in fairness to Chris Groom, he did slip at the critical stage. Waters! Not so subtle a nudge as he was trying to take one of the marks of the day.
Yes, if he got his hand on the footy, he might have got away with that, but that bruise is carrying the ball right over his hands there and interfered with Keogh.
Playing well, Keogh.
Yes.
Here he is on the defensive side of centre, Rod Keogh. Into a congested centre area. Out the back it comes. A chance for the Dockers, David Muir to clear. Well tackled. Ball comes to ground. Good hard work there by Damon Shaw. And it's locked up in the centre. Been a very good quarter for the Saints. 8 goals, 1. For the Dockers, 2-2. But bear in mind, the Saints kicking with this very strong breeze. Probably at least 3 or 4 goals. Kickett's tackle is verging on high. The player's allowed to go on. Thornborough's kick is high. And there's another one. What do you think, Roscoe?
I'm just trying to see what the umpire's actually paying that for.
Right behind the head, I think.
Well, there's a push there, definitely from Edwards. And is that O'Brien getting the free kick? It is. That must be what it's for. The umpire, when he ran in, having given the decision, didn't show what it was for, but I can only assume that's what it was.
I think the worst part of the injury was done as he fell into somebody coming the other way.
Yeah.
There was a kick there, for sure and certain.
He's got one on the top of the nose there, so he'll have to come off. So I wonder if Bardsley will take the kick. He is.
He'd be the
well
man
played.
to take it.
Well done. Going for number 5.
Like for Craig O'Brien.
Yes.
So Bardsley directly in front, 50 metres out.
Just have to wait for O'Brien to get off the ground completely.
So we'll see some attention for that nasty looking wound. And hopefully we'll be back soon. Bardsley for number 5. Stephen Ziller replaces O'Brien. Bardsley's kick going to be pretty close. Just off target, one behind. Stephen Ziller getting his first run, charging onto the ground.
That's what happens, Sandy. Someone else kicks a point. The bloke who's kicked 4 straight decides he better kick one as well. Mistakes run through you like that.
Just on a minute and a half of this first quarter. O'Reilly did think about Anthony Jones. Now, what's going on here?
I think it'll be a kick on the line of the square.
Yeah. To be taken by Peter Mann.
I can see that.
Goes to the outer side. First to it should be Waters if he can keep it in play, but he can't on that outer side. Crowd out there has built up considerably too since the start of this first quarter. Fremantle fans have come relatively late to this game. And at the moment their side is trailing by 6 straight. There's still a lot of football to be played in this match. Kick it. An opportunity as he swings it through the centre. Forward they go. Can they score a goal as Allen tries to get away, but he gets caught. He's going to get a free kick. Played the ball long in front of him. Plays on, gives it to Delaney. Delaney floats a high one up towards full forward. The Dockers need a mark or some handy roving work. They've got the ladder. A step by Groom is away to the right and one behind. Former South Australian kicks a point. Started off with the Panthers, South Adelaide. Found himself a Crow.
Probably couldn't quite make it, could he? Just had others in front. I thought he may have, actually.
Amazing story. 12 games for the Crows, debuted in '93, and here he is 2 years down the track playing for the Fremantle Dockers. Would have lost money had he said that would be the case a couple of years ago. Loose ball on the wing has come a long way. This is Kickett over the top, but 4 centimetres taller than Justin Madden. He's pretty nimble. He feeds it back. This is Jones. Boots it down inside the 50. Big pack at the fall of the ball. Groom in front. Immediately tackled. Ball still locked in and the umpire wants it. So we're down to 35 seconds now. The bounce just inside the 50. 8-2 StKilda. A fast start. The Fremantle Dockers at 2-3. Vidovic has been very good. Likewise Bardsley. High floater towards the outer side. Crummell comes to meet it, drops the chest mark. Winmar closing. That's bad news as far as the Dockers are concerned. Wills collides with Crummell out there. It comes back to Winmar eventually. Wills tidies up. This is Waters. Winmar, strong tackle. Well done and well played by Shaw. Gets the hand pass away. They work it around the outer side. Harvey over the top. This is Winmar on the siren. Well finished by the Saints. So at quarter time, StKilda lead 8-2-50 to Fremantle 2-3-15.
Dwayne, well, the Saints are up by almost 6. You think it is a 6-goal breeze?
Certainly it is. I think it hasn't dropped off at all. So admittedly, Jared Neeson's not very happy with the quarter, but he says as long as they stick to their guns and try and settle it down, a little bit more pressure on the opposition players, that they can still be in the game.
Were you a little bit disappointed by the Dockers, or taking nothing away, of course, from StKilda?
No, a little bit disappointed. The first 5 minutes I thought they started pretty well, but they started to fumble a bit and looked like a lack of confidence. But I'm sure they'll settle down as the game goes on, so let's hope they can make game of it.
You saw Craig O'Brien come off the ground. It looked as though he just needed a bit of patchwork and he should be okay to come back.
Yeah, we got the report, and it's just a bloodied nose, so he'll be back on this quarter for sure.
Thank you, Dwayne.
No problem, Sandy. Thank you.
Dwayne Lamb riding the boundary here at East Fremantle. Roscoe, what were your impressions of the Dockers' first quarter in the Ansett Australia Cup?
I thought it was just very simply the fact that StKilda just put far more pressure on the Dockers players and didn't allow them to have that running game which they want to develop and draw the man, chip and draw. I don't know if I really understand totally what that means, but...
That sounds shades of golf, but let's have a look at the Mitsubishi Motors match stats and see what you can glean out of that.
Well, not a lot of difference other than the fact that the important one, of course, is goals which are kicked, which is far more critical. very even all the way through. The fact is that St Kilda have just used the ball far more effectively. But the one that is perhaps, again, more free kicks, whilst it's 8 to 11, there were 4 free kicks against the Dockers in the forward area of St Kilda, which resulted from goals, which are just, you just don't allow that. And it's undisciplined play. And as I say, that pressure that St Kilda exerted on the Dockers in the close-in stuff just brought them undone a little, but that's the learning curve they've got to experience.
Will's having a spell on the bench for the Dockers. I'm going to be interested to see when young Jeff White gets a chance how he performs, Ross.
Well, he's only young, and in fact, Jared Neesham's almost hinted that he'll be used very sparingly throughout the year. If you talk to Jeff White, he wants to play every game, which is great. So
ease him in.
I think that's the natural thing to do. They've got a few big fellows who perhaps deserve the run early.
So Craig Nettlebeck kicked a 2 into the breeze in the first quarter. The Dockers have it in the second. And they certainly have to do something here, otherwise Kilda could get away.
Yes, and Darren Capel comes on to the Dockers to pick up Bardsley to try and quieten that player down.
Sensational first quarter by Christian Bardsley. He kicked 4 goals. St Kilda 8-2. Fremantle at 2-3 as we go into the second quarter. Waters again tries to win it out of the centre, was almost legged. Got it back towards Kickett, who slipped, and they quickly pounce upon him, locking it up in the centre. Also down there was David Muir. Still in the middle. Vidovic charges, but Burton just slaps it back. Keogh a chance, had a pretty good first quarter. Goes on to the left foot, out wide. Lurking was Winmar, didn't get a chance, however. Harvey in trouble, pushes it out towards Shaw. Now the Saints are running up towards the left half forward flank region. Nugent's kick goes up towards full forward. Burton does it well. Oh, well, he was doing it well until he put boot to ball.
Yes, the idea was very right and did it very well until the execution of the kick. He tried to bring it back into play, but went the other way. Mind you, that's exactly where that breeze is blowing, Sandy.
Yeah. Damon Shaw on the outer side, kicks down towards the 50. Muir goes up, uncontested, takes the mark. The Dockers, with the breeze at their back now, the strong southwester, kicks it around the outer side. Burrow, big leap and mark. Very impressive against the Bombers a couple of weeks back, put at 3 goals. It's right on the wing, goes for distance. Spiral torpedo well inside the 50, off hands. This is Anderson, nicely done. Grant over the top. Keogh presenting constantly in this first half. Across the goal face now, and that's safe enough. This is Burke, up from the back pocket, kicks towards the outer side. Shaw will need to go, got a hand to it, couldn't control it. Still he goes though, feeds it back. This is Smith, in trouble, dragged down, got the hand pass away. Trying to knock it on was Nugent, worked it forward, taken by Burke. Feeds it back, this is Harvey. Harvey around the outer side towards half forward, and Winmar. Mann is there. It favours Mann, and again he keeps it in front. Strong tackle brought him down. Opportunity for Muir. They're going in pretty solidly. Winmar dug it out. This is Burke. Well played. The Saints with a chance. Uncharacteristically, Harvey left it behind. Shaw got it to Zilla. Across it comes now to Pekin. Pekin in the pocket, pulls it back. Persistence by the Saints. And Lowe's marked only about 25 metres out.
That's exactly what it was too. And the other thing too, the preparedness of Keogh to kick the ball across goal in the back half and find a man and allow them to attack on the defensive side out of the half-back area and then bring the ball back towards the centre from half forward. It's the ideal way to play football, out of the back area into the breeze.
Stewart Loewe already with 2 goals. He played only 12 games last season. Kicked 19 goals, his best haul 5 in round 24 against the Lions. No easy kick this one into the breeze.
It's a bit of a stab, wasn't it?
Yep. The biggest problem is getting it down to the boot. Very exposed, isn't it?
Yes, my word. And that's where this breeze accentuates that even further. Must control the ball as close to the boot as possible.
O'Reilly bring it back into play. It's underneath the drop punt. It's very high towards Burton. Vidovic at the back, an effective spoiler, pushing it down in front. Smith unable to take it cleanly. Now an opportunity for the Dockers through Kickett, threading it towards Allen and Waters. It's Waters who took it, tried to get it on. Bardsley, not Bardsley, I should say, it was his opposition kicking it towards the boundary line and taken over.
Scotty Waters. Sorry, Sandy.
Plays 2-3. Well, here's the young boy's chance. Jeff White just turned 18 last week. On the sidelines and about to get his first run. Good luck to him. Many believe he's got a fine future. Joel Smith is wearing number 43. He was named earlier as wearing the old number 4, vacated by Tony Locker.
Yes, I'm not sure, apart from the fact that the jumper wouldn't fit him, that you'd want to have that responsibility, such a youngster. Not that the number should be continued on, but certainly his choice.
There was a shot of Jeff White still waiting on the sidelines, waiting for his chance. A bit of it came over the top from behind. Couldn't get it away cleanly. Delaney was in there working hard. So too was Muir. Burton tries to push it forward towards Waters. He twists and turns and weaves and gets it out eventually. The Dockers go forward in towards their 50. Caught was Crummell. Got the hand pass away just in time. Still in with a chance. Flicking round the body was Burrows. Going nowhere fast. Crummell marks inside 50. A juggler. But he's going to have a shot.
Just went the required distance too as Matthew Burton comes off to allow Jeff White to come on. But just that extra bit of handball, why they just can't, particularly with the breeze, just kick the ball long. They've got a couple of good targets, particularly Nettlebeck, who's played pretty well in that first quarter. Get the ball down into the attack as quickly as possible.
Crummell for his first. Looks pretty good. He's got it.
Fly the new Qantas business class to Hong Kong any day of the week. And with all the extra legroom, you'll feel like you're the only person on the flight.
So many copies of speed, we guarantee it. Get it first time or get it free. It's another reason why. The choice is easy.
So the margin back to 30 points. White comes on a run, bit of a clean possession though. He's played pretty well, floats it to half-forward man, reaches over the top and knocks away. This is Kickett, surrounded by teammates. Breaks away brilliantly, back through the Saints. Unloads for a long kick. Groom comes up and takes the mark. Chris Groom just outside the 50. Now on the breeze, he's a chance from here. Bell offers the lead, that's ignored.
Benny Allen coming off the ground. Wonder whether he's a little injured. He certainly found it pretty tough so far.
There's Groom, long kick. The breeze grabs it nicely, pushes it through. Here come the Dockers. Still in the space of a minute. They trail by 24 points.
Yes, and Benny Allen being replaced by Lee Warner-Johnson, having his first run for the day. But just, this is the kick I'm talking about. You're on the square there, the back half. Dale kick it, bang with a big tall. The ball reaches the 50-metre line in your forward half. You have a shot at goal. So 2 kicks and you're a goal. That's the effective way to play football with a breeze.
Jeff White will contest in the middle. The youngster who was #1 pick in the November draft. As we said, Ben Allen is off the ground for the Dockers. We'll find out from Dwayne Lamb just what his situation is. But a pumped up White flies high. It's Keogh who takes it away now. He put one late, and there's going to be a free kick down the ground. Keogh's had a very good start to this game though, Ross.
He has. In fact, he's a very good player, just perhaps lacks that explosive pace to get away.
Nathan Burke kicks towards Stewart Loewe. They pounce over the top. Peter Mann's going to run out of room.
Sandy, that should have been 50. Norris got in front of the man with the ball. Accidentally, but he got in front of him. It should have been 50 metres to the Saints.
Not to be. They're still on their 50-metre line. White got in front. Ball pushed down. An opportunity again for Waters. Knew he didn't have any options up forward, so he just dribbled it, gained a little bit of distance, and found the boundary line. A little bit of a party on behind play.
Yes, I think it was Crummell and who's the other player there?
Damon Shaw.
It is Damon Shaw, yes. I think a bit of a jostle.
Vidovic. Well, they better stop because the ball's heading down that way at a rather rapid rate. Muir tries to go through. Not successful. Here's an opportunity for Waters. Take it away from Mann. Advantage paid. Waters still going. Dummies once.
See.
Well, he's forced to swing it round his body. The high fly there was Gary Durko, but that's an excellent mark in opposition.
That's where that chip and draw, unfortunately, that's what you call it, doesn't work.
Harvey on the defensive side of centre. Just pokes it in towards big Laser Vidovic in the middle. Back to Harvey again. Loves to have a run, does Robert Harvey. One bounce, then up towards the half-forward line. Backing into the pack. There's absolute courage by Damon Shaw. And still going is Harvey. He's 50 out, but he's kicked it straight into the man on the mark. That was Crummell. Damon Shaw gets another chance after that courageous mark. He kicks towards full forward. No one able to take it cleanly. They should get out of trouble. It's pushed wide towards Bell. Can't take it cleanly. Now it comes towards Devonport. He chips in towards Lowe. One hand flinging wide. Couldn't take the mark. Winmar pushed in the chest and unceremoniously dumped. Ball spilling free once again towards Devonport. Gives it off to Harvey. Harvey tries to thread his way through. Can't do so. Back comes to Anderson. Dean Anderson, 70 metres out. Pokes it up towards full forward. No one there to take a mark. And Peter Mann defends.
Well, the Docker is learning about the AFL at the present time. His man comes away, kicks back towards midfield. Big leap from behind Grant. Got it on the ground. This is Durkay. Durkay boots it down towards half-forward for the Dockers. Nettlebeck comes to meet an awkward half-volley. Shanahan leads back in the race. He'll head for the boundary. Nettlebeck after him. It's out of bounds in the pocket.
Yes, it looked a bit as though he was a shade worried about his hamstrings there, Craig Nettlebeck. Didn't quite get down there well enough, I thought. Not an easy one, I know.
8-3-4-3. Just under 12 and a half minutes to half-time. Vidovic has been terrific. Worked out of that one by Burrows. Taken by Waters. He was taken high, and he'll get the free kick. Scotty Waters, only about 35 metres from goal. Should get this one.
There's Tim Pekin not showing a lot of experience there.
Vice captain. A pre-draft pick for the Eagles back in 88. He went to Sydney in 92. In the deal that gave the Eagles #1 pick, and that became Drew Banfield. Waters off about 2 paces. Gets the goal.
The Mitsubishi Magna V6. With V6 power under the bonnet, you can take just about anything with you, including the kitchen sink. Is there a Magna V6 in front of your house?
3 goals to 1 point in the second quarter, and the Dockers back in business. White goes it with the one hand, couldn't take it cleanly. Abraham sprints out of the centre. He does get caught, but not before he gets it across to Delaney. The Dockers looking much better. Kept partly smothered, however. White is in there, tries to get it out. Gets plenty of support, and that's good for the Dockers. They go up towards full forward. What a kick! What a kick by Wardell Johnson!
Great kick.
I think that's his first, and what a memorable one.
Yes, he came on to replace Ben Allen. The skipper off with perhaps a bit of a niggle in that calf again. And here Jeff White just showing the way, but allowed it for Wardell Johnson. And that left boot, he's a terrific kicker. Either foot, actually, this fellow. Well done. Again, just shows you go long, get the results.
12 points the margin.
And he played 12 senior games at Claremont.
Great goal. White back in the middle again. Up against Vidovic. It is the latter who gets it, but can they win it out of the centre? No, it's taken by Peter Bell. Korean-born Bell. Goes up towards half-forward. Another one here will put the cat amongst the pigeons. Caught with Wardell Johnson on that occasion. There was holding on, and the umpires picked it up. So this crowd, obviously very pro-Dockers, really coming to light as Craig Burrows picks himself up a free kick and a shot at goal.
Boy can kick too.
Yes.
Played very well against Essendon, did he not?
Yep.
Kicking from probably 55, so he's going to have to get onto one. Oh, it's a lovely looking drop back. It's a lovely kick, and it's a goal. The Dockers are throwing down the anchor, old boys, eh?
It took you a while to use it. Glad you have already.
Get it out of the way. That's fine.
Well, of course, Craig Burrows is very used to this ground. Being an East Fremantle player, this is his home soil. And we've mentioned a few times he showed a bit there, and showed a bit of class here, knowing what's around him. to get rid of that footy, knowing he was under pressure. The kick was a beauty. He shows a bit, Dennis, doesn't he?
Yeah, like the look of him. No doubt he'll bulk up. It was 35 points at quarter time. It's back to 6 points now. In the middle, one down by Vidovic. Trying to crash his way through was Keogh. Locked in and a bounce. So if they can draw level in the next minute or so, they'll have about 9 minutes worth of wind-assisted time to the half. And the Dockers could turn in front. Vidovic was up. It falls at their feet. Hurried kick by Zilla. It goes out wide. This is Edwards, number 1. Left it behind. Nugent. Across the body. Finds Winmar. About 20 metres further afield. The crowd certainly, as you can see in the background, is filled in nicely. Here's Harvey. By his standards, quite quiet. Down towards half-court. Twisting and turning. Gets by man. He's 65 metres out. The short pass is on the Loewe. Loewe was marked about 40 metres from goal, in fact.
Yes, Steve O'Reilly just thinking that one of his teammates may have chipped into that gap that was there in front of Stewie Loewe. Scott Edwards has done it a few times, but he wasn't around at that stage. Been caught short.
Cloud's gone. The sun is shining brightly as Stewie Loewe heads for goal. It's a very good effort from there. Right on the line. Did White touch it? No.
Sunday.
There are many ways to clean a dirty plug,
But only one way to spend Sunday nights. At 6:30, join Dr. Harry and friends for Talk to the Animals. Then at 7:30...
Who's this ugly lump on my neck? Your head?
I think you boys have inherited your father's mechanical abilities.
All new home improvement. Plus...
They're tough.
See the funniest, wackiest, most unbelievable commercials ever made in the world's greatest commercials. From 6:30 Sunday on 7.
A much-needed steadier for the Saints. Peter Everett straight onto the ground and straight into the thick of things. Up against White. Abraham went without it in the middle. Everett gets it out nicely. Finally, it's Keogh, who's told to go forward and go forward quickly. He does with a floating kick as Stewart Loewe comes charging out of that pack. Wills was there also. It's flicked out wide. Harvey could have been held. Ripped off the football, taken away by Wills. Now the Dockers have got a chance to clear. Oh, he's run too far. An excited Abraham. Harvey to take it. Just forward of centre. Not a lot on offer. Chips it to Nathan Burt, who's really no closer. He'll probably go back to Harvey again. Will he go back to Burt once more? No, he just edges forward to Craig Devonport. Devonport this time to Stewart Loewe. Well done.
Yes, well, Dennis mentioned previously that he had just the 12 games last year, had enormous problems with groin, and
I don't think he was fit for one of those, though.
well, he wasn't, and rarely did they have Loewe, Lockett, Winmar and Burke all playing together, or Frawley. He went away after the season overseas, had a good rest, just got his mind right as well, and had a lot of other problems to consider. It's great to see that he controlled himself and played the game last year under those conditions, and now to have him back fresh and fit, for the Saints' sake, I hope he plays the full season.
He tugs it left. Behind. 9-4, 7-3. Interesting game. Fremantle on the breeze, just over 8 minutes till half-time. Steve O'Reilly, fine season last season for the Cats. It's going to be a free kick. It's going to StKilda on the kickoff line. Not sure about all of that. Something happened about 20 metres out from the goal square. I think the man may have been the man who was penalised, but Lowe's got the ball. And the last two kicks in the game belong to Stewie Loewe, it seems. The last one are behind. He's already got 3 goals. That's nice. Just standing there. The old token gesture with one arm up in the air, and suddenly the ball comes back to you.
Always worth a try.
Stewie, right in front, kicks a goal. So he's got 4. Timely one for the Saints. 10-4 to 7-3, and certainly the Dockers have torpedoed themselves once or twice today down inside the 50.
Yes, I can't help you there, Dennis. I was looking down the ground as young Austin Jones came on, the young rover in the Southern Stingrays, for his first run for the day.
I think St Kilda supporters are very keen that he may be a fine too.
Yes, he along with Joel Smith, Sandy.
So here we go out of the middle. Keogh for the Saints. They've steadied with a couple of goals. And they go towards the 50-metre line. Kick it is there, however, shows a bit of the football, then tumbles it up towards centre wing. Jeff White lumbers after it. Grant is going to be first to it on the outer side. Possession now may give it to Harvey. No, elects to take the kick. Floating it in towards the middle. Bardsley was there. So too Keogh. Abraham over the top of him. A not so subtle shove. And Keogh will take it. Just over 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Chipped by Keogh, finds David Grant. He steadies, has a look up towards the 50-metre line. Good, effective kick, but an even better mark taken by Anthony Jones. Jones in front of the scoreboard. It shows 64 playing 45, favouring St Kilda. Keogh at the back. Not time to swing on the left foot. Well tackled by Wills on that occasion, and he was held. Could have almost been free kick. Not to be. Harvey in trouble. Just floats it over the top. They move up towards left half forward. Kick it is there once again for the Dockers. Twisting and turning. He did get caught, but he got the ball away. Towards half forward. Winmar beaten on this occasion. Devonport comes in over the top. Nathan Burke is at the bottom. So too Peter Mann. And the umpire decides on the balance.
Sometimes it just needs a kick, Roscoe.
That's all it is. It is called footy, isn't it?
Bounce inside the centre square then. Everett props in front. White from behind. Well done by Abraham. This is Norrish on the burst. Kicks well inside the 50. Fisted away down there by Shanahan. Wide of the pack. An opportunity for the Dockers. This is Bell. He's slippery. Bell comes around. Goes with the left foot. That's a terrific effort.
Julie, I need to get the people in Paris, London, and Sydney together for a meeting.
When?
20 minutes.
With NEC's global communication system, people can meet face-to-face wherever in the world they are.
20 minutes. Roger, meeting in 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Roger. Hi, everyone. Miss Nakamura, not with us? Oh, there you are. Let's begin.
Our vision is bringing the world together. NEC.
Bell again closes the gap. 51 plays 64. And from the middle, Burton back out on the ground. Possession now. Wobbles one up towards half forward. Oh, and a good diving mark.
Yes.
And it's going to be paid to Craig Burrows, who kicked the goal not so long ago. Has a chance to add to that now.
It's good work by Capel back in the centre too to get the ball quickly to big Matthew Burton. And here, pay the effort.
Pay the mark.
Pay the effort. Anyway, the bottom line is he's got it, and he's kicked from 49 metres, and he's stabbed away to the right. For one behind. Then Allen, the Dockers skipper, and just having a spell, according to Dwayne Lamb down there. Our report is that he's not suffering from any injury.
I'm sure they tell you too.
Yes, we know that, don't we? That's one thing they've learnt very quickly. Keogh has been pretty busy. Glenn Nugent, they call him Pineapple for obvious reasons. In towards the centre and sock it off the ground. Down towards the half-forward line. Clean ball just about everyone except Tim Pekin gives it to Harvey. Off to Keogh again. With a left foot, he pulls it round his body, but only as far as Abraham. Now have a bounce this time or kick it. And he does the latter. Look at this! Has given them something to cheer about, and again there's just a kick in it.
Yes, there's a bit of quality about the lad, isn't there? Just a certain sureness about his ball handling there. The Saints get themselves into trouble with this Keogh kick out of defence, just no one there. And Abraham in space, didn't need to bounce. Perhaps could have if he wanted to, but elected to kick easily.
So the margin 6 points. Just over 4.5 minutes to half-time. Abraham, just 8 senior games with Perth in the WAFL. Amazing story. Keogh goes down towards half-forward. Kickett dropping back, takes the mark.
Improved his game since he's been down there, Dennis.
Kickett, whoops, in trouble. Run down by Burke, gets the hand pass off. Edwards, plenty of time. Capewell, forward of half-back. Runs through the middle, kicks to half-forward. Burrows. Looked very nice as well.
Wills is short. No, he's too slow getting it there.
A goal here, a level of scores. Down he could kick one, but he'll kick from about 65 out. On the breeze. Sets it up. Stop the carry. Ooh, that's a big kick. An indication of the breeze. As we're under 4 minutes now, and the margin is back to 5 points. So good term this for the Fremantle Dockers. Yes, man up's the call. Wakeland to bring it in. Kicks towards the outer side. The breeze takes it further away. Grant was up, got a hand to it, close to the line. Abraham, blistering speed, 60 metres out. Nettlebeck and Bell have got the numbers. It's 2-on-1, but the ball goes out of bounds. Lucky time for the Saints.
Dwayne Lamb on the boundary line. What is the story regarding Ben Allen?
Yes, Andy, had trouble finding him, but it appears that he has got a sore foot. There is a slight injury there. They're still looking at it. I'm not sure they'll be playing any further part in the game.
Okay, thank you for that, as Will snaps away to the left.
And there's no question when he had that area in that first quarter that he did. I just watched him just adjust his ankle and just flick it around a little bit. Obviously, that's causing some problems. I don't know how you adjust your ankle, actually. But
you've lost nothing, though. You picked it up. A summer off, first game, and you're
adjusting already.
Picking the adjustment.
I just moved him around from cover a little bit.
5 points the margin. Harvey kicking into this breeze. Keogh, good attempt to try and mark. David Grant runs out of room. Touched over the line, so a throw in to take place. 5 points the difference. StKilda lead, just over 3 minutes remaining. Everett with the left hand looking to palm it down, but taken away. Wills only as far as Keogh. He in turn's going to give it away once again. Grant. It was Capewell trying to get clear, couldn't do so, and that one's swinging away out of bounds on the full in the left forward pocket.
Yes, Capewell came on in this quarter and immediately picked up Bardsley, who was giving the Dockers some trouble. He's now got Robert Harvey, so a good introduction for Darren Capewell.
Tim Pekin. Kick to a very congested half-back region. Everett is there. Burton also. Bardsley takes the flick forward and repels. Kicking towards the half-back line. Good mark taken by Brendan Crummell. Play on! But now
he's not allowed to do that. Spider Burton, sorry, Sandy, was shepherding Shaw away from the mark.
And that's a very big wingspan, isn't it?
Very much so. If you get around that, you've got to try and get under it rather than around it.
So back to Crummell. Centering kick. Shanahan. Alone at half-back. Takes the diving mark. Flicks it to Harvey. He was off. He was off. And it's not a good kick. Will they make him pay? Darren Capewell is in the region. He's not going to be required because there is a booming cut from Craig Burrows for one behind.
3 points in this quarter. And the goal.
Should have gone to Nettlebeck, shouldn't it?
7-3 for the quarter.
Well, I suppose when you're in range like that, Dennis, I mean, the handball could well have been on, but you back yourself. It's good for what Jared Neesham does preach, that if you're in range, just back your own ability.
Here's Hollow. Kicking in to the outer side. That's a good kick too. Long one, but Abraham goes back and takes the mark. He looks very good. Squares the ball. All Dockers. This is Capewell. Inside the centre square, goes in short to Waters. Unconventional, but they got there.
Wills is still free, yes.
They're getting some men free. We had that 2-on-1 situation moments ago, and when Crummell had the ball and it was whistled back, I noticed that Wills was free. Again, the extra man on the forward line. One wonders how the heck that happens. Here's Waters for the lead. He's got it. Hit second, and the Dockers lead by 2 points.
Well, it has been a terrific comeback by the local side. They looked a bit out of their depth in the latter part of the first quarter, and I thought the man-on-man stuff, they just lacked a bit of strength, and the pressure put on them by StKilda just appeared too much. But by gee, they've really asserted themselves in this quarter, and all StKilda just added the 2 goals to the Dockers, have now kicked their 7th for the quarter. In fact, it's 8.
Back in the middle once again. Yes, they've really turned things around as Keogh this time gives it to Harvey. He bursts out of the centre for StKilda. Up towards the half-forward line, and Stewart Loewe gets it on the half volley. Looks for the free kick, pushing the ball along out in front of him. Running out of room. He kicks it, and he's shipped it still in play, I think. No, the boundary umpire is coming around now, and it is going to be deemed out of bounds on the full.
It was a bad effort from the big fella, though.
A great effort by Stewart Loewe. He tried so desperately to keep it in play. Burton at the back couldn't take the mark. Harvey gives it to Keogh. Onto the right boot he goes. Short little chip. Only goes probably 15 or so metres, if that. And finds Nathan Burke. With a minute of play remaining, this has been an excellent quarter by the Dockers. Bardsley. But a free kick.
Yes.
Things going the way. A push for Kickett. A good kick to Delaney. And he's away now. He loves a run, this boy. Delaney onto the left foot, kicks towards half forward. Waters and Wills are both there. So too is Abraham. They've got the numbers. Picked up down, but in trouble. Pushed towards Waters again. Robert Harvey waiting for it to come out. Tumbling over the top was Chris Hollow. And a bounce will take place on the Dockers' 50-metre line inside the last 30 seconds.
Peter Bell, they're just chastising himself. He shouldn't. He slipped at the critical moment. It was a beautiful pickup.
Could have been away.
Oh, yes, and he had Scotty Waters on, which he just was apologising to. But he's in touch.
Everett stands over the top after getting a palm on the ball.
The touch will come. It's for a rover. It's the actual reading the play and getting to the right position that takes a while to get used to with a new side.
And there it is, the siren for half-time. An excellent fight back by the Dockers. Scorers in the first half.
Correct.
Compared to the Dockers 8. Bardsley and Lowe dominating with 4 apiece. Christian Dardley, it was like winning Cats Lotto in the first quarter. He booted 4.
Well, it's certainly very important for StKilda's point of view to show, prove to themselves and supporters and the like, but more importantly to the players, that they can play in a forward structure without Tony Lockett. I'm sure they know that. Some players perhaps just were intimidated by Lockett's presence and didn't present themselves as often as possible. They played more of a secondary role. Now it's time for them all to step up and take the responsibility, which they've done a little at times today.
They've always battled in pre-season competition. They've never played in a final, and in fact they've only played in 1 semi-final.
So their performance, having played 27 games, they've only won 8 and lost 19. So you're right, Sandy. But at the end of the day, the pre-season comp really is just to get players' fitness levels up, get a bit of a team pattern going. You'd love to win the money, of course.
Yeah.
It's not totally inconsequential, but it's really just another practice match in some form.
Ben Allen, as Dennis said, back out on the ground, but on the bench as we're set to start this second half. It'll be Burton and Lazar Vidovic.
Burton's had trouble at these centre bounces too with a floating ball that comes back over his head on the breeze.
See what happens this time. Vidovic stopped for a moment. StKilda kicking it with the breeze.
Well, nearly every time he's jumped early, Dennis, hasn't he? So his timing's not right, and the Vidovic's always going to go with his left hand.
Well, we won't count that one. Nathan Burke goes through, does get a kick, but it ricochets back to Keogh. He looks towards Devonport. Claim, and well claimed too by David Muir. Good tackle. He'll drift it over the centre. Short drop punt. Vidovic couldn't hold it. Slaps it out the back door. They're away again. Compliments of Keogh. Down towards half forward. Pushed out of it was Everett. Devonport goes in strongly. but it's Edwards who comes away. Pushes it wide. The Dockers now defending. The Muir and Kickett both in there. No one able to pick it up cleanly. Scrappy passage of play. Damon Shaw comes in over the top and a bounce will take place. Sun shining now over Fremantle, blue skies. With this breeze still blowing from right to left. And in this quarter, if you may have just joined us, aiding St Kilda. Capel waiting for it to come out. Anthony Jones in there for the Dockers. He's wearing number 38. And Devonport there also. But another bounce to take place.
Vidovic goes up, knocks it down, follows through. Trying to keep it in front. Damon Shaw dives on top of it, then slaps it out. Bardsley a half chance. He went to ground. Battles with Edwards, and again the umpire will do the honours. Right on the 50 this time. So the Saints led by 35 points at quarter time. Only to fall behind by 2 at the half. No change to that. Vidovic goes up. It's a fist on it. It's going to be a free kick to Burton, who has shepherded it out. So Matthew Burton, across half back. The Dockers. A little indecisive. Kicks to the wing now. Big jump from Burrows. Couldn't complete the mark. Wardell Johnson slides in on his knees, going nowhere. Very scrappy. Immediately after half-time, Delaney has the ball, but the umpire wants it again. A bounce just forward of right centre wing for the Saints. They've got the breeze. They need to make a move here. Vidovic, who's dominated, gets it down. Delaney. Keogh crashed into him.
Yes, so it's just an interesting part where both sides now just prepared to put far more pressure on the opposition, so they're playing one-on-one. That's why the ball just can't get cleared.
Burton over the top, won it down. This is Burke breaking away, gets the ball in the clear and kicks inside the 50. Kickett will need to go, got fingertips to it, buried by Lowe. It spills behind his Zilla, over the top towards Smith. He can't keep it in, it spills out of bounds. And a throw in the pocket, and Kickett, as you'd expect, is slow to get up.
Stewart Loewe coming in over the top with a throw in the right forward pocket. StKilda in attack. Loewe will contest here. Have to try and take it out of the air. He can't. Trying to get clear was Anthony Jones. Could have almost been free kick for Winmar. Pushing the ball forward. Loses it to Muir. Now a chance for Keogh to get the hand pass away to Thornborough. Back to Winmar. He's outside 50. Pumps it long in towards full forward. No one at home, however. And the mark is taken by Matthew Burton.
Good work by Mann too to just do a bit of jostling with Stewart Loewe to allow Burton to take the easier mark.
And 50.
Not many blokes taller than Stewart Loewe. Oh, lucky that missed.
Well, he plays on. Gives it to Darren Capel. Capel's at the centre now. Moves through the middle. Sweeps a long hand pass wide towards Waters. Waters back to Capel. The Dockers look dangerous. Capel's kick goes up towards the half-forward line. And the mark taken by Peter Bell.
Good nudge allowed by the umpire.
Too far out, Bell. Chip and run will be on, but that's a poor kick. Straight to Keogh. Rod Keogh's picked up a ton of possessions. Stabs to Burke. Almost down to the centre. Thought about Pekin, but then goes even wider. Socket off the ground and over the boundary line. They want to be careful in that area because the police horse was out there at half-time and was caught short. There's O'Brien, as you can see, was forced to leave the ground. That eye doesn't look too good. So doubtful whether he'll be taking any further part in this game. Burton wins it down, looking towards Delaney, but it's Harvey who takes it away. Keogh gets the hand pass away, and it was like lightning too. Across to Austin Jones. Jones kicked towards the half-forward line. No one there. Edwards gives it away. Oh, loose at Crumble. Winmar comes in, and he'll back it round for a goal.
Fly the new Qantas business class to Hong Kong any day of the week. And with all the extra legroom, you'll feel like you're the only person on the flight.
Got the hungry
Brace yourself for the mouth-watering taste of our lean, juicy chicken burger. Flame grilled the way only Hungry Jacks do it.
Got the hungries for Hungry Jacks.
So the Saints lead it by 4 points. Nicky Winmar, clever goal. With a crowd of about 15,000 now, it really has built up. Here's Keogh once more digging the ball out of the centre down towards Zilla. Good tumbling mark. Former South Australian. He's at left half forward. Loewe wants it in the middle. That's the direction the kick takes. Edwards has to wait. Showed a lot of courage. He knew Loewe was coming on the lead. No easy situation. Scott Edwards.
Nearly got it taken away from them. Edwards is prepared to do that though, Dennis, isn't he? Go away from his man in a pocket and stand in front of the leading full forward.
As across the ground, Norris, who's been pretty quiet, leads in the race out there. Winmar works his way in front. But dangerous, off balance, headed towards the fence. Nicky finds Norris on the way back. Great sense of direction, and it will be thrown in. Just outside the 50. Bitovic's in front. Burton works his way in front, slaps it down. Here's Harvey. Characteristic pose, lays it off. Keogh close to the boundary line, pulls it back. Loewe is up, knocked away by Mann. Opportunity for Zilla. Down went Loewe, held a long time in the tackle. No free kick. Mann, did he push a player in the back down there? Not according to the umpire. And we'll have a ball up. Thornborough in front, but couldn't get the free kick. There's Peter Mann. Played 17 games for North Melbourne last season. His dad played 13 for the Saints back in the 60s. And Stewie Loewe, a constant problem on the forward line, is marked about 10 metres out. He's got 4 goals. Simply too strong and too tall right there.
Yeah, no question. If he gets in front, the bucket is very hard to move.
Important kick, this one. To stretch the lead to 10 points. Should be a mere formality, but who knows? Very heartening sign, his form today. Oh, he's hit the post. Not so heartening. The margin is out to 5 points.
Yes, and while that was happening, Tony Delaney came off the ground, replaced by Winston Abraham. He's gone up to a pocket. Durko's come down to a flank.
Edwards brings it back into play. And Burton again will have he caught one there. Well, Laser's not happy, and he could be in trouble.
Wow.
That wasn't so subtle.
That was quite amazing, wasn't it?
And unnecessary.
And out comes the book. Bitovic reported.
Well, Brendan Crummell that was on the end of one there.
But the Fremantle fans certainly taking to the spider.
Yes, and looks as if Crummell will have to come off. But blood over his left cheek and eye.
So this is now for Burton. Down to centre wing.
There's Crummell. I've got to wait for him to come off now.
And the umpire's still making a few notes. It's unfortunate for Crummell. And here's another 50.
He hadn't finished.
He was writing now. Now, we're back in business. Burton floats it up towards the half-forward line. But there's an excellent mark taken by Tim Peake.
Groom, the player, to come on to replace Crummell.
The goal in the second quarter. And things may just heat up a little bit here.
This is the testing time for the players, Sandy, to see who keeps their cool. There's no point in retaliation.
Nope. Lee Wardle-Johnson in the thick of things there. It's on the outer side of the ground, midway during this third quarter. And that lays a Bitovic, hoping to settle things down as Keogh kicks it up towards the half-forward line. Now the Saints in with a chance towards Stewart Loewe, who comes charging out. Gets a nasty bounce home, and it swings away from him. The Dockers descend upon it. Kick tries to flick it out the back and does it pretty well. They push it wide towards the boundary line. I don't know that Devonport will be able to keep it in play. He can't. And it goes over the line for a throw-in.
Clever kick, had nowhere else to go.
Yeah. Devonport, I remember, came over here at the Wacker one night and kicked 4 or 5 in a first quarter, and the Saints still got beat. O'Reilly's short kick, capable at the bottom of the pack, going nowhere. Damon Shaw also down there, and another bounce to take place. Five points the margin, and almost 12 minutes remaining. Shaw pounces on it to Winmar. Somehow threads his way through, but the kick was partly smothered over the line once again. Dwayne Lamb, your next medical report consists of what?
Sandy, Brendan Crowell actually looks like he's got a split above the top eye. Has got a split above the top eye, so there's a lot of blood coming out, so he'll have to get some work on that. And Delaney actually has got ice in his shin. He copped a kick, so he may play no further part either.
Shaw gets it to Winmar from the boundary throw-in. Nicky goes for goal and gets it.
At Merrington's, one-stop eye care is just so easy. Merrington's. Easy.
Saints by 11 points. Just over 11 minutes till three-quarter time. Burton the backhander down. Wardell Johnson soccers off the ground towards centre half forward. Burrows is in there. Durkay crashes in. StKilda free kick. Wakeland will take it in the true centre half back position. 12-5, 10-6. Wakeland, members side with a kick. It favours Wills though. He spills it. Still some time, Wills. Now he's got problems. Gets away from Burt, has a bounce. Runs towards the middle. Andrew Wills, the former Geelong player. It's half smothered. It ricochets down towards centre half forward. He went too close to the man coming at him. Wardell Johnson goes to ground, gets it to Bell. Quick hands to Abraham. 45 metres out. Abraham settles, kicks. Has it got the carry? No, it falls about 10 metres short. Picked up by Bell. Snaps with his second, and he's got it. Live pioneer goal, Peter Bell. Just 18 years of age, last season playing for South Fremantle in the WAFL. His first season, he won their best and fairest.
And it took an absolute eternity to get there because Wills decided to go across ground instead of directly at the sticks. And who'd want to play in front of someone coming up the ground like that? No idea where they were going. Upset the whole forward structure. They got away with it just through some persistence and a bit of brilliance from both Abraham and Bell. Well done.
Again, the margin back to 5 points. Burton and Vidovic out of the centre. No one able to take it cleanly. Waters low to the ground. He does. Away he goes. The Dockers on a run. Waters on a run. Gets the hand pass across to a teammate in Wardell Johnson. Down towards the half-forward line. Good mark taken out in front. And suddenly, Nettlebeck and the Dockers are coming back again. He goes short. It's okay, finds Darren Capewell.
It's brought the crowd to life a bit too.
Yes. Well, it sets it up too for a big last quarter. The Saints, of course, are without Danny Frawley today. Kicks on its way. Doesn't quite make the distance. And the mark taken by Vidovic on the last line of defence. Brings it back towards half-back. Oh, high flyer was Durkay. No mark, but it looked pretty good. Durkay again. Little chip round his body. But not effective. Shanahan takes the mark.
He goes to Keogh, who drops the mark in the opposite back pocket. All the time in the world. Settles, boots it towards midfield. Up in front, Thornborough from behind O'Reilly. Wardell Johnson in trouble, gave it straight away to Harvey. Harvey alongside the centre circle, breaks away, goes for distance, down towards Lowe, and why not? Almost the mark, kick at the presence of mind to punch away. A scramble in the pocket, Zilla's got problems, hooks it back for Lowe, awkward bounce, it's tucked away by Edwards. Now an opportunity for the Saints, two of them converge on the ball, and as a result they made a mess of it. It was Shaw and Harvey. Harvey was running at goal and could have been his ball.
Exactly, that's the rule. You almost must follow the player running directly your way, takes the cherry.
Vidovic's off the ground, I think, and Everett's back on. Yes, that's right.
It's a clever kick too by Zilla to come across goal to try and find Lowe.
Thornborough, it comes to Shaw. That's a great goal. Marvellous snap. His first. St Kilda 13-5, Fremantle 11-6.
Yes, so Damon Shaw's a very good player. Debuted in 1993, but just 19 years of age. Has 32 games on his belt with the Saints, and very classy player. He showed there. Just roving the packs nicely. The headgear obviously has had a couple of whacks around the ear, so needs that protection like his teammate Nathan Burke.
St Kilda's lead out to 11 points. They'll be very keen to get a couple more, at least, before three-quarter time. Burton flicks it with a backhand. Hand pass was meant for Wills from Capel, but he was ripped to the ground. This lets Devonport in. Quickly across to Zilla, who chips up towards half-forward. Everett comes steaming down, and he's still going, big Peter Everett. Had it, then lost it, looked for the free kick, didn't come his way. Thornborough tries to storm his way through as well. He can't get clear. Zilla in there and ripped off the football. They've still got possession. Bardsley had a booming first quarter, and that's not good for Bardsley.
They're cramped as he kicked as well.
4 straight in the first term. And on that occasion, out of bounds on the floor. Wills sets himself in the back pocket. Taking it from Peter Mann. Former North to a former Cat. And here's Peter Everett. Big fella sporting an interesting hairstyle. Bardsley leaving the ground with cramp. Peter Everett, well, he cannons off the umpire and finds Thornton. I don't know if that was the plan. O'Reilly dropped what he should have taken, and he may pay for it. Zilla may get a chance to get through. He tries but can't. The Dockers now have an opportunity. But look at Robert Harvey steaming towards that football. Keeps it in play. Winmar is there also. They eventually lock it up as Harvey tries to come away, but all too late. And another bounce.
Good experience here for the Dockers, that sort of pressure, Sandy. Good body stuff.
Yep. Under 7 minutes remaining. And again, Winmar in the thick of things. Norwich all too late.
Joel Smith going off again, Sandy, the young player. Hasn't been on the ground very long, so he's been replaced now by Glenn Nugent, the former Hawk.
Wills tuckles it towards half-back. Peter Everett leads in the race for the ball. He was leading Craig Burrows and sees it safely over the line. Throw in once again. Everett at the back. The Norwich in trouble. Ball spills free towards Jones. A high kick by Austin Jones. And fisted over the line. Kick it being one of the flyers. For a throw. Left forward pocket. St Kilda wanting a couple of goals. They've got 6 minutes plus to do it in this third quarter.
They lead by 11 points. There's the boundary throw-in. It falls in front. Burton heads for the boundary line. And again, work there for the Saints. Dockers quite content with the ball out of bounds in this pocket. Although the clock has stopped, but the scramble to get it there, consuming valuable seconds. Boundary umpire throws it towards centre half forward. Wills smothered off the boot. Devonport, high kick down towards the kick-off line. Lowe's in front. And he's simply too good. Nice, isn't it? Well, O'Reilly was shifted off him, and Mann having more problems.
Yes, to judge the ball like that, the breeze and the height at this time of the year is just terrific. And a great plus for Stewie Loewe. As Spider Burton comes off the ground. Watch this again on replay. Peter Mann tried valiantly to try and punch that ball away to no effect as the buckets go around the footy. And Stewie Loewe has another shot at goal, looking for his 5th.
Hit the post earlier. He's missed entirely, has he? No, he's got it.
1.5 million viewers have made Blue Heelers Australia's #1 weekly drama.
The guy's HIV positive.
An arrest will change Adam's life forever.
You scared, mate?
He wanted me to catch it.
Blue Heelers, followed by the hit series Fire, Tuesday on 7.
That's the kick there from Devonport to get it very high, which is a tricky one for anyone to mark, but the big fella just made it look so easy.
This is the way StKilda wanted to finish this third quarter, setting up a handy lead with the Dockers coming home with the breeze. Everett charged out of the centre, and it's Nathan Burke who picks it up and cuts it towards Lowe. Here he comes! Stewart Loewe. 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and 1 so far in this third.
And again, when you've got a target like Lowe in the full forward area, kick out of the centre like that on the breeze, that's all you need. He's got room to run into.
Directly in front. Kicking from 35. A drop putt is good. 6 goals to Stewart Loewe.
There's some great consistency from the big fella too. 2 in each quarter thus far. And his second opponent, as Dennis mentioned earlier, O'Reilly has been moved off him. And then again, the breaks out of the centre favouring St Kilda, and they're taking advantage of it. As Sandy mentioned, very important they get as far ahead in this quarter with the breeze, because the Dockers will have it in this final quarter.
Lowe has 6 goals, and the Saints have the lead by 23 points. 4.5 minutes till three-quarter time. Should be a terrific finish. One down by Everett. Harvey couldn't control it. Goes again. Brilliantly done. Arches the back and comes away. Robert Harvey storming down the ground. Goes looking for Lowe once more. Man works his way in front. Got a fist on it. Ball runs out of bounds in the pocket. But Lowe then almost the mark. And really having to stretch to knock it out of bounds. White and Thornborough. White over the top. This is Harvey again. You can see him lifting hard against the boundary line. The snap hits the post. Marvellous effort from there. The lead is 24 points.
It's interesting in his career for a fellow who gets the ball so often. He's not been a big goal scorer for the Saints, just 68 in total out of 116 games, just the 6 goals last year. So he's not a big goal scorer, more a creator.
Kicks it in towards the outer side. White under the ball. Thornborough over the top, or was it Everett? Everett punched it forward, taken by Wardell Johnson. Hurriedly onto the boot, out of bounds on the full. That right half forward for the Saints. Keogh, who's been a very good player, sends it back inside the 50. Lowe's the target again, and he takes the mark. Wow. They can't match him. I remember last year in a practice game, WACA ground, when StKilda beat the West Coast Eagles, he was virtually unstoppable that night. I think from memory kicked 7. He's in that sort of form again. Sparkling early season form, Stewie Loewe. He's lining up for his 7th here.
StKilda fans, Dennis, just delighted to see him fit and back at 100% fitness. Can only get better.
Well, it's the sort of player, isn't he, Sandy, that draws people to the footy. You want to see class players playing well.
So Lowe will kick from about 40 metres out. Slight angle. Another very good kick. Lowe has...
I suppose I do lose it a bit sometimes. But I tell you what, I never want to lose my Visa card. When I'm away, I practically live on it. When I'm at home, I couldn't live without it. How else do you pay your bills over the phone? No wonder more people have Visa than all the other cards put together. Yep, 340 million people, just like me. Scary, isn't it?
Three goals in this quarter to Stewart Loewe and a 7 for the match. 30 points. The Saints lead. It's very handy. As we have a couple more minutes before going into the final term. Chasing is Anthony Jones for the Dockers. Tried to soccer it clear, but Nathan Burke is going to make him pay. Nathan Burke, where's Mr. Lowe? Right there. A bullet-like worm burner finds him on the chest. You're speechless, Ross.
No, I'm just thinking that Nathan Burke, that we showed his stats at half-time, he had a little bit of the football, but that's the sort of play they want from their midfielders to just feed those big fellows down forward.
O'Reilly's gone back to full back
Yes, he
too.
has. Yep. Well, Peter Mann actually in that previous encounter came down with a bit of cramp, so he's now got Thornborough.
So this for number 8. And I'd imagine fullbacks around the league would be, to say the least, interested in this performance. There's another one. 8 goals, and that's 4 for this quarter. And what could well be a match-winning performance, Roscoe.
Yes, and I suppose if you look at the alternatives for Jared Neesham to swap his players around, obviously he's tried O'Reilly and Mann. Does he try and get Nettlebeck from full forward to bring him up into that back area again? But it's really the size of Lowe and the fact the ball is coming down so very well to him. I mean, once he gets in front, it's extremely hard to get around the big fellow.
So suddenly the margin has galloped out, as you can see, 108 to 72. The Dockers started with a 2-point advantage in this term. White goes up and taps it forward. Burke got a hand to it. Winmar couldn't control it. He comes again. Over the ball is Bill. He's slung out of it. Moved the ball about 5 metres the Dockers' way. Muir got it to Waters. Waters comes away towards half forward. Kicks inside the 50. Nettlebeck is down there with him as Shanahan. It falls forward. Good defence by the Saints. They managed to tie it up. That's all they need to do. Nettlebeck claiming he was held. Nothing doing. And the ball up. Hollow putting his body in after Shanahan got it on the ground. Saints wouldn't like to concede a late goal here. Everett and Groom. Won by Everett. Knocked forward by Burke. Waters about 60 metres from goal. Peeking right with him close to the line. Crashing in is Burke. And the ball across the line. It will be thrown in. Scott Waters, a good afternoon. Brendan Crummell, a few worse for wear. Forward of the pack, a half chance for Muir, knocked away by Everett. Still Everett over the ball. Pekin picks it up to Burke, who was taken high. Will the advantage be paid? I don't think so. Harvey's got the ball and wanting to go, but it will come back to Nathan Burke. He turned 25 a couple of weeks back, and what a servant he's been for the club. In fact, it's going to Keogh, is it? No, it's going to Burke. Not sure. Burke is
Burke's coming back. In fact, he's played for the last 3 seasons, Dennis, every game St Kilda have played in, so it's a great effort, terribly consistent.
He gives it back to Keogh. Wills for a moment. Still in the middle. Wills again. Still going Wills, loses it to Pekin eventually. They're going nowhere fast. David Grant almost throws it out to Winmar. Mickey Winmar gets it away. Here's an opportunity now for Devonport. He'll look for Stewart Loewe. No, intercepting. Here's Robert Harvey with only 17 seconds remaining. And counting down. He's got to have a shot or find the target of Loewe. Going to be kicking from 50 metres just on. Decides to have a shot, pushing it deep into the square, but pushing it across the face. And through for only one behind as the siren sounds. To end the third quarter here at East Fremantle Oval. Well, the Saints needed to put the foot on the accelerator in the second half of the third quarter. They did exactly that. At three-quarter time, excellent kicking for goal. The Saints 17-7, 109 lead Fremantle, who have the breeze in the final term. 11-6, 72. 1 goal to 7 in the third quarter. The Saints setting it up. Can they go on with it? 17-7, 109. The Dockers, admittedly, into the breeze. 11-6-72, so they've kicked 3 goals into the breeze. Don't forget all the top sport coming away on 7 each and every Sunday morning. It is at Sports World with a team, 9 through till 12 Eastern Time. All the top sporting news and action, be it locally, nationally or internationally, you will see it on Sports World, and that of course includes highlights of the Touring Car Championships. We're up to round 2 on the 26th. That's the Australian touring cars, and wherever you may be viewing around Australia, just check your local guides for times there. Great action though with the tourers, culminating of course at Bathurst. Well, plenty of words being said by the coaches out there at 3/4 time. Dwayne, the big question is, can the Dockers come back? They've got the breeze in the final quarter. What are your thoughts?
Well, the Dockers were fairly quiet at the 3/4 time break from Sean Neesham, settling them down and telling them they've got the breeze. Over the other side, Elsie, they were very noisy over there, and they, I think, believe they've got a real big chance for this game. So I think it's in the offing, but the Saints do look pretty good at this moment.
Yes, thank you for that. Dwayne Lamb on the boundary line. Stan Alves starting yet another year, and it would appear as though the difference between these two sides, there's a bloke wearing number 23 who's kicked 8 goals for St Kilda at the moment, Ross.
Yes, well, that quarter by Stewart Loewe, 4 goals, just outstanding. It was all, that's the last 10 or 12 minutes of that quarter. And then we open up, though, with the highlights here of Peter Bell's goal. It took them ages to get the ball down there because Andrew Wills decided to go from Geelong to North Melbourne all the way back again here to Fremantle to try and get the ball forward. And when they finally did, Peter Bell decided that he'd kick a great goal, which worked out well. And Stewart Loewe started his run here. This is the mark and goal that set him alight. To mark the ball as crisp as he has at this time of the year, in these conditions with the breeze, has been terrific. And his kicking, considering he's kicked, what has he got now? 7 goals, 3? 8. I beg your pardon, 8 goals, 3. It's just been fantastic, and I'm very pleased for him that he's come back from the injuries and problems last year. And look at his stats there. As he's progressed through each quarter, he's just got better. 9 marks at 3/4 time, 11 kicks, and the important stat there, 8 goals, 3.
Well, they're certainly not out of it. They trailed by almost 6 goals at quarter time for Fremantle, and they led at half time. Can they reproduce that quarter of football again? They've got to if they're going to steal the show in this Ansett Australia Cup match. From the middle, they're kicking with the breeze down towards left half forward. Good tackle. That was on Bell. He recovers again. He's still going, Peter Bell. Got the hand pass away. Wardell Johnson in trouble. His hand pass goes astray, straight to Nicky Winmar, but Bell collars him. Out comes Peake and almost threw it out to Nathan Burke, who just ships it to the boundary line. And another throw in to take place.
Yes, a couple of handball options there by Dockers players, just not quite good enough, having made the effort to get the cherry in the first place. Just gave it away a bit too easily.
Burke, another chip, this time to kick it. Again over the line. Vidovic tries to pluck it out of there, and the big man did well as he gives it to Harvey, who twists and turns and dodges and weaves, but his hand pass goes astray. Look out, kick it! Lowe got him from behind. Devonport under pressure and close to the boundary line, and a fine diving attempt as Kickett is down behind play.
It's the second time he's found Stewart Loewe.
Austin Jones, I think it was, who took that diving mark. This time it's intercepted, however, by Scott Edwards. Edwards goes to another Scott. This is Scotty Waters. Kickett still down behind play. Waters bounced his way across the centre with 3. Keogh charges towards him, but he leaves Darren Capewell clear. Capewell, a little chip up to the half-forward line. Not good, but here's Wills. It may work. Will he go direct? No, he gets caught. Bell is there. He goes to ground. He could be pinged for holding the ball. No.
Oof. A few mistakes. Capewell's option there was a difficult one. It had to be spot on, and it wasn't. And then some fumbles as Kickett is in trouble. Caught one on the stomach from Stewart Loewe accidentally.
There's the bounce. Falls at their feet. Keogh shovels it back, conceding some ground. Kicked out by Harvey. With pace, this is Durkay, hard against the line, can't manage to keep it in. It floats out of bounds just inside the 50. Kickett's on his feet, that's good news. thought for a moment it may have been ribs, probably bruised, but he's going to go on. Meantime, this is Shaw in the back pocket. Kicks towards half-back. Wardell Johnson and/or Durkay. They juggled it between them. Neither completed the mark. Wardell Johnson finished up with the ball, but the umpire saw it came off Durkay's hands first. They didn't think it out too well. Boundary throw in. About 70 metres from the Dockers' attacking goal. Vidovic, clean possession, tried to thump it on. Wakelin over the top, heads for the boundary line. Edwards right on the boundary line, kept it in. Wardell Johnson and/or Burton set a task. Wardell Johnson fell over. Devonport was in there, picked up by Kickett. Plenty of toe, away he comes, gets by Harvey, gets around Nugent, kicks from about 60 metres out. Could be an inspirational goal. No, he's missed it. Wide of the mark. Exhilarating football, nevertheless, by Dale Kickett.
You're going to pick him for travelling, will you? Well, obviously, just within the limitations.
Oh, they've changed it, have they? Peakin to the outer side. There's the mark taken by Darryl Wakelin. Wakelin hugs the boundary line. He goes towards a centre wing. Critical stage of the game. Winmar was ripped off the football, but did he have it? Umpire lets it go. Number 15 there, Winston Abraham. Grew up as a young lad idolising the Cracker brothers, Jimmy and Phil specifically. Still on centre wing. Winmar around his body. Flicks it back close to the boundary line. The courageous mark taken by Anthony Jones. Running back with the flight of the ball, he did it well, and he finds Scott Edwards. Oh, out of the way. 113 games with Claremont. And wants to try and let one go. Might get onto the drop putt, pushes it over the centre, however. The Saints defending pretty well at the moment. Chris Hollow's kick wobbles towards Norris. Anderson wasn't a good tackle. Advantage is going to be paid. Devonport towards the sprinting Everett. Can't take the mark. Kickett will clear again. Away he goes with a one bounce. Look out. Can he get clear? Over he goes towards Cable. Wasn't a good hand pass. A little too high. Waters in trouble. Back to Kickett. He's almost cleared his line. Give it to Burke. Now the big man can sprint. But he decides not to. He decides to kick down towards half forward. Winston was there, but he just floated towards the ball and it drifted over him and finally over the line.
I think if you're a Dockers fan, you'd be well advised to take some Valium along with your thermos at weekends, because they will be an infuriating side by the end of the year, won't they? Oh, well, always run and beat the man.
At the moment, they're not making an impression, though, on closing this gap, and the time is ticking away. Just over 15 minutes remaining. The Saints looking to go through to the next round. Stan Alves at the helm again this year. Vidovic, who had his name taken earlier on in the match. He's worked pretty hard.
And this sort of congested play too, Sandy. He's not going to bother StKilda at all. Prepared just to play in close and try and wear the Dockers down a bit. Nugent is off. And on is Bardsley, who still hasn't scored another goal after he's 4 in the first quarter. And a free kick goes to Burrows.
Yep.
Yes. I didn't see that, Dennis. Was that...
shepherding at the bounce, according to the umpire.
Kicked a goal in the second quarter. And they need something just to spark them up, to get them going on the scoreboard in this final term. They've added just the one behind to date. He's going to be kicking from 40 metres, a drop putt. That looks pretty good. He's got it.
There's an Australian airline that can fly you to 94 cities in 25 countries on 5 continents. It's not just Australia's leading airline, it's the largest airline in Southeast Asia. The airline that you know best.
So the margin back to 30 points now. Still plenty of time, over 14 minutes. And the Dockers finishing on a strong breeze, but the Saints appear to be in control. They need some quick goals. The Dockers, that is, as Bell appear to be taken high. No free kick. Away comes Wills. Long kick from about 60 metres out, but he's way off target, out of bounds on the full in that right full forward pocket. 17-7 to 12-7. Remarkably accurate kicking, given the nature of these conditions today. And of course, the first real competitive game for both these teams. They're playing for something this afternoon. Forward of the pack, it's Harvey. Hand passes as far as Burton, close to the line. Screws it down towards the pocket. Peakins in front. Broom from behind. It falls back towards the middle. Burrows held a long time in the tackle. Winmar, great evasion, gets it across to support. This is Hollow. Hollow comes back to half-back. It's taken by Keogh. One of the best on the ground.
He's been pretty constructive when he's got the footy.
Not over and down with pace, but a very good football head on his shoulders. He's at half-back, taking plenty of time. Goes across the ground to Harvey. Fisted away by Burton. Now a loose ball. White coming up to meet him is Wakeland. Wakeland wanted it more. Pushes it towards the boundary line. Keeps it in. Settles. Tries to hug the boundary with a kick. He was looking for Harvey. It floats away from him. And Waters will take the kick on the outer side. A sense of urgency now amongst the Dockers. The ball is centred to Wills by Waters. Wills decides to run through the centre square. They bring it to the attacking side of the ground. Up in front is Groom, fisted away by Shanahan. Chance for Burke, well done. Gets it to Pekin. On it comes to Keogh. And the Saints weather another storm.
Keogh's kick goes up towards centre wing. Sprinting around is Austin Jones. Just keeps the ball in play. Goes up towards right half forward. And for a moment, Peter Everett had it. But eventually, persistence paid off. And it was Nettlebeck who forced it out of his hands onto the ground and over the line.
You see Nettlebeck started his quarter at full back, having spent most of the game at full forward.
Started well with a couple of goals. Norwich at the bottom of the pack, can't get it out. The shadows start to creep across this ground. East Fremantle is our venue. Fremantle playing host to a rock concert and a rodeo, hopefully not on at the same time. And well, the ground just not fit. Darren Capel in a spot of bother there.
Oh, the fitness test, yeah.
Unfortunately, yes. I guess people would also ask, well, why not the whacker? But of course, cricket is still underway there. So Devonport, body over the ball, close to the line. It's taken out of his hands and belted over the touch. And so another throw. Burton and Loewe. O'Reilly has the ball held.
He's found it hard to get into the game, Steve O'Reilly.
Low again, trying to get the best position, getting in front of Burton. Will's short kick was smothered. Winmar somehow eventually gets out, gets boot to ball, chips it in towards that right forward pocket area. And it's pushed over for another trouble. St Kilda holding on pretty well. Anthony Jones was the player then who saw it over the line. The Saints now just 11.5 minutes away from going into the second round. Devonport couldn't take it. It'll be a free kick. Ironical cheers go up and tackle too high on Scotty Waters. Tries to draw the player, eventually gives it across to Norwich. They start to run the ball. Edwards runs into trouble. Wills and Norwich combine. Norwich giving it to Wills. He goes on to the left foot. No one at home knows he kicked it straight down the throat of Middleton.
Middleton is on report. Very well in the opening half. Kicks towards the wing and the juggling mark is held by Keogh. Ross making the point about O'Reilly having a down day. In fact, of the players with AFL experience, I suppose only one, and that's been Scott Waters. Has really shown any form at all. Meantime, this is Zilla. Goalwood for the Saints. This could just about wrap it up. 10 metres out, and he's kicked it.
From the day they moved in, he wanted to share everything, especially his beautiful...
You have to help me understand
I didn't kill her. Only he can see the real murderer's deadly charm.
You got my wife and child.
Kevin Kline and Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio on a roller coaster ride of suspense.
I'm not going to leave you.
For the first time, consenting adults, 8:30 Sunday on 7.
Stephen Ziller getting his first goal, but more importantly, one that should seal this match for St Kilda. Going on with it in this final term, and the Dockers having trouble despite going with the breeze. Kickett tried to come and force his way through. Bell chips it up towards full forward. Good pass, but an effective spoil, and it's pushed towards the boundary line and over by Jamie Shanahan. Got front spot and held it, and made it to the safety of the boundary. From the throw-in, Vidovic with a left fist belts it straight back from whence it came. Stewart Loewe, the hero of the day, if you may have just joined us, 8 goals to his credit.
Vidovic's got to come off. He's got bloodied nose.
Yes. So there'll be a slight hold-up in proceedings here. Stewart Loewe goes down.
It's good initiative.
Yeah, to contest the ruck work. Vidovic off. And Stewart Loewe assuming responsibility. And wins it with a right fist. Stuart Edwards runs into Davenport. Almost got clear, but not quite, and was pinged. The advantage is paid. Nathan Burke steps it up towards the half-forward line. Great attempt, and Bardsley takes a fine mark. Made a wonderful start with 4 goals in the first quarter. Christian Bardsley, 12 kicks.
I think he wants a lead.
Heads up towards the 50-metre line. Norrish defends towards Wills. Chips over his body. Waters was his target. What sort of a bounce does he get? Not good. The door opens for Austin Jones, the youngster for the Saints. Pushing the ball along, but eventually can't pick it up and is a little frustrated about it as he finds the boundary line.
Thrown in out his side. Everett is there. O'Reilly reaches over the top and thumps it. White battles with Hollow. And the umpire wants it. Very pleasant evening now here in Perth. The Saints, it appears, have done the job as far as they're concerned. Started underdogs today. The Dockers odds-on favourites, according to bookmakers. The Saints advance to the second round. As Kickett gets a free kick and boots it towards midfield. Burrows tries to knock it on. Muir dragged down by Burke. It's Jart free, picked up by Peake into Harvey. Untidy hand pass. Harvey under pressure gave it away. Bell towards White, who couldn't control it. Bell goes back after it. This is Durkee, well shepherded by Muir. The kick comes inside the 50. Man was up in front, knocked away by Shanahan. Roving the pack, Wakeland. Awkward one for Devonport. He played it very well. Missed the mark, but knocked it to Shaw, who goes looking for Bardsley. Kissed it away by Jones, and it's out of bounds on the wing.
They're looking down the track for the Saints too, Dennis. They've got their first home and away game is in fact back here in Perth, the Wacker against the Eagles. So a win here today gives them a bit of confidence coming back here.
Here's Bell breaking away, got it down his throat there from Burton. The ball bounces out of bounds at left half forward. Dockers' first game against Richmond at the MCG. I think coming off another concert, Sandy. The Rolling Stones playing at the MCG.
Voodoo Lounge Tour.
That should be very good, but the Dockers not having much luck with their ovals at this stage.
There's the throw-in. Winmar. Eventually to Harvey. Well, he just popped over it and is going to lose it. Running into all sorts of trouble with David Muir, and he too has lost it. Now Hollow to Nathan Burke, tucked in the back pocket. Keogh's calling for it, and he finds him down towards half back. Been a prolific kick winner today. Stewart Loewe hasn't dropped too many marks today. That was one. Kick it again, caught in his vice like Griffiths. Sock it off the ground down towards Bardsley. Charge flickers through. Played by Bardsley, but a very interesting hand pass to himself, maybe. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Winmar loses out. Now Durkay gets clear. In towards the centre he goes. Poor kick, however. It's going to work. He had a couple of options, and Peter Mann was the one who took the mark. It was a little chip once again. Wills at the back. Well, this is going to come off for a goal.
Oh, lucky.
Speaking of luck,
you want to spill blood on the same patch of grass as the men that came before you. It doesn't separate men from boys. It tears them apart. Broken fingers, 2 shoulder reconstructions, 40 stitches in my face. I'd recommend the game to anyone. I've walked up the field with fewer points than my opponent, but I've never walked up the field a loser.
Margin 30 points. Just under 7 minutes remain. Everett and Burton go at it. Burton's tried hard. The longer the game's gone, the better he's played. Well, Waters taken a couple of revolutions there, so as a result, Keogh will get the free kick. Alongside the centre circle. 18-7 to 13-7. The game blown wide open by Stewart Loewe in that third term, shooting 4 of his 8 goals. Unstoppable, and should have got a free kick there. Nothing doing. It's worked on by Zilla. Getting back is Bell. He didn't have the ball. Advantage is paid. Waddell Johnson gets it to Jones. Whoops. Back to Waddell Johnson. Close to the line. He comes to the wing and Broom. Broom tumbles, takes the mark. Wants to go, but Devonport's across to close him down. Devonport smothers as Broom wanted to play on wide of the mark. Gets it to Burton. Burton, a hurried kick. Floats it through the centre. Winmar from behind. Almost the mark. Wills tried to reef it back. Spills towards Broom. He's upended. Battles on. Picked up by Edwards. Gets it away to Waters. Waters quickly across towards Bell. Wide is still Waddell Johnson. Devonport read it brilliantly. Smothered the hand pass. Waddell Johnson was met very solidly. Keogh was in there. And we've got a whistle. And Waddell Johnson, the worse for wear.
Inside the last 6 minutes. The Saints by 30 points. Edwards taken high by Keogh.
Yeah, there's a bit
up, isn't he, Rod Keogh?
Yeah, there's been a bit going on between those two.
Scott Edwards towards centre wing and Bell. 2 wide.
Bell was very lucky. Not the place to go out of bounds there, Sandy.
No, because of the policeman's horse, I imagine you're referring.
I think so.
Harvey, back towards centre wing once again. Stewart Loewe. Oh, sensational mark. Crowd of 10,028 watching Stewart Loewe take one of many grabs today, and a beauty.
That will be sore tonight. Meantime, the Saints come down towards half forward. Nettlebeck fisted away and leads Everett in the chase towards the outer side. Should be too nimble. It proves that way. Goes over the top to Durkay. 30 points the difference. Durkay running down towards half forward. It was well done by Burke, who applied a tackle and goes again. In fact, it's Shaw out there, and it's going to be a free kick. Wakeland plays on quickly. Gets it to Winmar. And boots it very wide. It's going to be a relay kick, I think, for the Saints. Winmar put down, having kicked the ball.
And I think Shaw might have trouble with perhaps a hammy, Dennis, in that tackling effort. Unless it's a bit of cramp, but he's clutching his right hamstring.
Jones, meantime, short to Keogh, close to best on ground. Keogh unloads for a long kick, well inside the 50. Nettlebeck was up, knocked it away from Everett, picked up by Jones. Sweeping hand pass to Waters. Waters across half-back, set Jones a task. Magnificent tackle hit on by Burke, and again from Zilla. Great stuff by the Saints. And as a result, the Dockers closed down.
That's the pressure they haven't had, the Dockers, from the opposition teams they've played thus far. And that's what they need to experience to appreciate what it's like and how the tempo is in congested areas. Damon Shaw comes off, but I think it was just cramping his right hamstring.
It's just holding that right hamstring as he leaves the ground. A very serviceable player. The action at the moment in front of a scoreboard, and with Robert Harvey, a scoreboard that shows St Kilda leading by 30 points. Harvey, like Stewart Loewe, has got better as this game has progressed, and no wonder he's taking a couple of deep breaths. It's been an outstanding performance by Stewart Loewe today.
It's got to be around about a dozen grabs, doesn't it, for the game? And as Dennis said, he's the critical player in that third quarter that turned it around for the Saints. And he just set the seal on the game, really.
Well, can he cap it off with his 9th goal? Kicking into the breeze. And he's probably going to be kicking from 40 metres out, so it'll test him. But his confidence would be sky high after a grand performance today. That's pretty close. What a great effort.
Well done.
9 goals to a smiling Stewart Loewe, and he's back in town.
Yes, and just to physically get through this game, I think it's just critical for Stewie Loewe. He played 2 weeks ago for the Saints. Didn't play last week, and I think they were beaten by Fitzroy in a practice match. It was the runner, the water boy, which is a bit of a step down, but he handled that pretty well. But obviously his groin and his other physical problems are very much the good. That's great news for StKilda.
So the Saints by 6 goals. There's Stewie Loewe, outstanding. I mentioned Keogh close to best on ground, so Loewe would have that distinction without question. 19-7, 13-7. I suppose some questions now loom large for the Fremantle Dockers. If you've got a question mark where the Saints are going alongside their name, then perhaps the Dockers will have to do a little stock taking as well. They found it very physical this afternoon, and the finesse game on occasions just hasn't gone the way they wanted.
Yes, and the other thing too, sorry Dan, the other thing too, where do they go for your practice match wise? You know, they get travelling interstate, which probably won't hurt them to experience the travel, but it becomes a very, very complicated pre-season program from here on in.
Well, it can go one of 2 ways. They'll kick it with a clash of heads here, I think. And here's the worse for wear. Just over 2 minutes to go. He's played pretty well and tried hard for the Dockers.
And Bardsley's coming off. Bardsley's coming off too with a crook right wrist or hand.
So Kickett is going to be a very sore boy tonight. He dropped one earlier in this half. Now he's off the ground and won't be back. Dying minutes of the game. Game 1 of the Ansett Australia Cup. And it will be StKilda who advance to the next round. Here's Muir. He had a stint at North Melbourne. Kicks well inside the 50. Up goes Groom and juggles the mark. Well done. Chris Groom directly in front, about 35 metres out.
Yes, and perhaps we should definitely make the point that all is not lost. First game out under some testing conditions. A great learning experience as Robert Harvey looks to be coming off as well. And he got through the game as well, having had a crook neck. The collision at training, I think it was in late January. So he's got through the game right. He might have a bit of a cut on the back of his head. So there's, I hope they've got enough rubber gloves around here. There's been plenty of blood around.
So they're waiting for him to get off the ground. The game of basketball. This has taken forever to play the last 40 seconds.
And David Shaw's going to come back on having suffered cramp. He doesn't want to get there too quickly, does he?
He's rapped about that too.
So Chris Groom going at his 2nd goal. This to get the margin back to 5 straight goals. Now he's off to the right, I fancy. And to behind.
Yeah, I think the point you made too, Dennis, is certainly very pertinent. Not that I'd ever question that it wouldn't be any points you've made. However,
thank you.
The Dockers senior players as such, those with AFL experience, have found it pretty tough, bar perhaps Scotty Waters, as you've mentioned. And when that happens, it then puts the pressure on those without that experience. And that's always going to be the testing time for the Dockers. If their core of senior players find it tough, then the next players, there's always going to be a group, or there will be perhaps 2 or 3 that might pop up, but you're relying on too few then.
Yeah.
And it shows out.
And not too many missing today.
No, they've only really got perhaps Todd Ridley, Phil Gilbert, maybe Clinton Wolfe, the ruckman, could step up, and perhaps a Sean McManus, but not many more.
Quentin Leach.
Oh, Quentin Leach, of course, who is missing today because of that conjunctivitis.
With all of those players we've mentioned there really have to prove themselves, with the exception maybe of Gilbert and Ridley, although they weren't outstanding AFL players, as Wills keeps it in close to the line. And he's gone across. So it will be a boundary throw in just over a minute to go. 19-7 plays 13-8.
Just over 10,000 fans here at East Fremantle today. Starting to leave the ground now. One minute and 20 seconds remaining.
Another bit of blood on Jeff White's knee. That's what the hold-up's for. The graze to be wiped by the trainer.
Could be here in darkness.
Yes.
Up.
Put the towel in the bucket.
From the throw. Almost thrown out towards Jamie Shanahan. Flicks it onto his boot. Goes towards half back. Stewart Loewe edged in front, unable to take the mark. O'Reilly is at the back. Has a look at what he's got up forward. Kicks in towards a full forward. Oh, Wills was the flyer. Couldn't quite complete the mark, however. And umpire comes in to take charge.
Robert Harvey has come back on. Don't be confused. He's now wearing jersey 30. Yep. Obviously had a bit of blood on the other. There's Lazavidovic also wearing a high numbered jumper.
So he's got Thornborough's jumper. That's not a good sign, actually, if the coach asks you to, would you mind?
Here's a bounce. The Dockers in attack, but finding goals difficult to score in this final term. Waters almost threw it out. Dean Anderson intercepted. He gives it to Pekin, who's ridden into the ground. The ball spills free, close to the boundary line, and in fact over it goes for another throw-in. Nicky Winmar asking the question, come on, wasn't it a push? No, he got no response. So the throw-in does take place. Back towards the very busy Kia. One of the best players on the ground towards centre wing. He's got Burke running through the middle. Still going. Flicks it off towards Winmar. Look out, Nicky! Take it high. It doesn't matter. Winmar raises it. Hand in triumph. StKilda are victorious in this opening match of the Ansett Australia Cup. And it was a wonderful performance by Stewart Loewe. He booted just one in the last quarter, but that gave him a tally of 9 in this history-making game. StKilda a chance to stay in the Ansett Australia Cup, build a bank, and who knows, go on to bigger and better things. The Dockers, as we've said, must now look to continue their pre-season at the home and away, and hopefully something will fall into place. Dwayne Lamb is our man down on the ground at the moment, and I think he's got the man of the moment in Stewart Loewe. Dwayne?
Yeah, thanks, Andy. Yeah, Stewart Loewe's here. Well played, mate. You'll be very happy with your first up form.
Yeah, it's fantastic. You know, it was always going to be hard over here, though. We knew they'd be pretty pumped up, but you know, we were equal to the task today. It's fantastic.
Certainly, that breeze was a real big factor. You played in quarters, but you certainly good third quarter, and you held them out in that last.
Yeah, it certainly was pretty tough kicking down this end, but yeah, we knew if we were with them at half time, we'd pretty much break their back at three-quarter time. But you know, fantastic credit to Fremantle. You know, first up was a great effort.
Congratulations, Stewie. All the best. Good year.
Yes, thank you, Dwayne, and well done to Stewart Loewe. 9 goals he finished with. As we check the scores here at East Fremantle, StKilda victorious, 19-7, 121. Fremantle, 13-8, 86.